Barakatin Yahweh, Barakatin Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash, greetings to the hopeful elect, to the 12 tribes of Israel, to the Israelite foreigners, and to, all people of the earth. They strive to do right, and be found fit before a creator. Now, we're going to continue with the book of Sirach, I am determined to finish the book. I don't know, as soon as possible, whatever. I love doing this work. So let's start with, we're going to do chapter 38, 39, and 40. Now, 38, concerning physicians and health. Honor physicians for their service. For Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai created them. Yeah, he gave them the wisdom, basically. For their gift of healing comes from the Most High, see? And they are rewarded by the King. The skill of physicians makes them distinguished. And in the presence of the great they are admired. The Most High created medicines out of the earth, and the sensible will not despise them. Was not water made sweet with a tree, in order that its power might be known? And he gave skills to human beings that he might be glorified in his marvelous works. By them the physician heals and takes away pain, and the pharmacist makes mixtures from them. Yahweh Elohim works will never be finished, and from him health spreads over all the earth. My child, when you are ill, do not delay, but pray to the Most High, and he will heal you. Give up your faults and direct your hands rightly, and cleanse your heart from all sin. Yeah, man, that's spiritual sickness, addictions and just defilement, man. We're all guilty of that, and Father, forgive us all for that, man. Repent, all of us, Offer a sweet-smelling sacrifice and a memorial portion of choice flour. And pour oil on your offerings as much as you can afford. Then give the physician his place, for Yahweh Elohim created him. Do not let him leave you, for you need him. There may come a time when recovery lies in the hands of a physician, for they too pray to the Most High, that he grant them success in diagnosis and in healing, for the sake of preserving life. He who sins against his maker will be defiant towards the physician. Yeah, man, but that's more practicing the rock correctly, man. Now, if it's manipulated like this vaccine, by wicked as government, that's another thing, But right here, the Most High says that, yeah, man, he gives the wisdom to these people to heal us. Okay? But spirit discernment will help you discern, I'm mourning for the dead. My child, let your tears fall for the dead. And as one in great pain began the lament, lay out the body with due ceremony, and do not neglect the burial. Let your weeping be bitter, and your wailing fervent. Make your mournings worthy of the departed for 1 day or two, to avoid criticism. Then be comforted for your grief. For grief may result in death, and a sorrow heart saps one's strength. Yeah, man, you can't stay mourning either. When a person is taken away, sorrow is over, but the life of the poor weighs down the heart. Do not give your heart to grief, drive it away, and remember your own end. And do not forget there is no coming back. You do the dead no good, and you injure yourself. Yeah, man, they're gone already, as cold as it sounds. Remember his fate, for yours is like it. Yesterday it was his, and today it is yours. Yeah, man, we're all going to die. When the dead is at rest, let his remembrance rest too, and be comforter for him when his spirit has departed. See? None of that crazy shit that they do here in the world, man. Trades and crafts, it says. The wisdom of the scribe depends on the opportunity of leisure. Only the one who has little business can become. Well, how can one become wise? Who handles the plow, and who glories in the shaft of a goat, who drives oxen and occupies with their works, and whose talk is about bulls. He sets his heart on plowing furrows, and he is careful about fodder for the heifers. So too is every artisan and master artisan who labors by night as well as by day. Those who cut the signet of the seals, each is diligent in making a great variety. They set their heart on painting a life-like image, and they are careful to finish their work. So too is the smith sitting by the anvil, intent on his iron work. The breath of the fire melts his flesh, and he struggles with the heat of the furnace. The sound of a hammer deafens his ears, and his eyes are on the pattern of the object. He sets his heart on finishing his handiwork, and he is careful to complete its decoration. So too is the potter sitting at his work and turning the wheel with his feet. He is always deeply concerning over his products, and he produces them quantity. He molds the clay with his arm and makes it pliable with his feet, and sets his heart to finish the glazing, and he takes care in firing the clean. All these rely on their hands and all are skillful in their own work. Without them no city can be inhabited, and wherever they live they will not go hungry. Yet they are not sought out for a council of the people, nor do they attain eminence in the public assembly. They do not sit in the judge's seat, nor do they understand the decisions of the courts. They cannot expound discipline or judgment, and they are not found amongst the rulers. But they maintain the fabric of the world, and their concern is for the exercise of their trade. They basically, the craftsmen, the workers, man. The activity of the scribe, it means. Okay, this is for all of us brothers who call to this. How different the one who devotes himself to the study of the law of the Most High. He seeks out the wisdom of all the ancients and is concerned with the prophecies. He preserves the sayings of the famous and penetrates the subtleties of parables. He seeks out the hidden meanings of proverbs and is at home with the obscurities of parables. He serves amongst the great and appears before rulers. He travels in foreign lands and learns what is good and evil in the human lot. He sets his heart to rise early to seek the Most High who made him, and to petition the Most High. He opens his mouth in prayer and asks pardon for his sin. If the great Yahweh Elohim is willing, he will be filled with the spirit of understanding. He will pour forth words of wisdom of his own and give thanks to the Most High in prayer. Yahweh Elohim will direct his counsel and knowledge as he meditates on his mysteries. He will show the wisdom of what he has learned and will glory in the law of the Most High's covenant. Many will praise his understanding. It will never be blotted out. His memory will not disappear, and his name will live through all generations. Nations will speak of his wisdom, and the congregation will proclaim his praise. If he lives long, he will live a name greater than 1,000. If he goes to rest, it is enough for him. Man, glorify be your name, Father, man. I aspire to be that scribe, man. I work so hard and diligently. I know I'm imperfected, man, Father. You know my flaws and my shame, and I'm constantly asking you for forgiveness. And I'm always sharing with the brothers and sisters, man, and I'll give all glory to the Most High, man. So, and man, I inspired to be this brother, man. So, glorify be the most, man. Most I be willing, providing that we will be found to be that person. Now, a hymn of praise to Yahweh Elohim. I have more on my mind to express. I am full like the full moon. Listen to me, my faithful children, and blossom like a rose grown by a stream of water. Send out fragrance like incense, and put forth blossoms like a lily. Scatter the fragrance and sing a hymn of praise. Blessed be Yahweh Elohim for all his works. Ascribe majesty to his name and give thanks to him with praise. Always, man, our glory and knowledge comes from above. With songs on your lips and with harps, that this is what you shall say in thanksgiving. All the works of Yahweh Elohim are very good, and whatever he commands will be done at the appointed time. No one can say, what is this or why is that? For at the appointed time, all such questions will be answered in due time. At his words, the water stood in a heap, and the reservoirs of water a word of his mouth. When he commands, his every purpose is fulfilled, and none can limit his saving power. The works of all are before him, and nothing can be hidden from his eyes. From the beginning to the end of time, he can see everything, and nothing is too marvelous for him. No one can say, what is this or why is it? For everything has been created for its own purpose. His blessings cover the dry land like a river and drenches it like flood. But his wrath drives out the nations, as when he turned a watered land into salt. To the faithful his ways are straight, but full of pitfalls for the wicked. From the beginning, good things were created for the good, but for the sinners, good things and bad. The basic necessities of human life are water and fire and iron and salt and wheat, flour, milk and honey, the blood of the grape and oil and clothing. All these are good for the godly, but for the sinner they turn into evil. They pervert, the gifts of the Most High. They are winds created for vengeance, and in their anger they can dislodge mountains. On the days of reckoning they will pour out their strength and calm the anger of their maker. Fire and hail and famine and pestilence, all these have been created. Vengeance, the fangs of wild animals and scorpions and vipers, and the sword sword that punished the ungodly with destruction. See, and that's what's happening right now in America. See, there's famine, pestilence, all this shit because it's wicked, Babylonian abomination queendom, and the hell's gonna come. It's fire gonna rain from the sky, man. They take delight in doing his bidding. Doing his bidding, always ready for his service on earth. And when their time comes, they never disobey his command. So from the beginning, I have been convinced of all this, and give thought to it. It says, give thought to it, and have thought it out, and left it in writing. All the works of the Most High are good, and he will supply every need in its time. No one can say, this is not as good as that, for everything proves good in its appointed time. So now sing praise with all your heart and voice, and bless the name of Yahweh or Elohim. Alright, man. See, there you go, man. See, the Most High don't play. Now, chapter 40, human wretchedness. Hard work was created for everyone, and a heavy yoke is laid on the children of Adam. From the day they came forth from their mother's womb until the day they returned to the mother, to all the living. Perplexities and fear of heart are theirs, and anxious thoughts of the day of their death, from the one who sits on the splendid throne to the one who grovels in dust and ashes, from the one who wears purple and a crown to the one who is clothed in burlaps, from the richest to the poorest. Here is anger and envy, trouble and unrest, and fear of death and fury and strife. And when one rests upon his bed, his sleep at night confuses his mind. He gets little or no rest. He struggles in his sleep as he did by day. He is troubled by the visions of his mind, like one who has escaped from the battlefield. At the moment he reaches safety, he awakes up, astonished that his fears were groundless. To all creatures, human and animal, but to the sinner 7 times more. There's no rest for the wicked. Come death and bloodshed and strife and sword, calamities and famine and ruin and plague. All these were created for the wicked, and on their account the flood king. All that is of earth returns to earth, and what is from above returns above. So there you go, see? Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. That's the worldly people, and the spiritual people going back to see the Father. Injustice will not prosper. All bribery and injustice will be blotted out. But good faith will last forever. The wealth of the unjust will dry up like a river, and crash like a loud clap of thunder in a storm. As a generous person has cause to rejoice, so lawbreakers will utterly fall. The children of ungodly put out few branches, but are unhealthy roots on sheer rocks. The reeds by any water or riverbank are plucked up before any grass, but kindness is like a garden of blessings, and all almsgiving endures forever. So there you go, man. Self-explanatory there. The joy of life, it says here. Wealth and wages make life sweet, but better than either is finding a treasure. Children in the building of a city establish one's name, but better than either is the one who finds wisdom. Yeah, man, the wisdom, man, our mother. Cattle and orchards make one prosperous, but a blameless wife is accounted better than either. Wine and music gladden the heart, but the love of friends is better than either. The flute and the harp make sweet melody, but a pleasant voice is better than either. The eye desires grace and beauty, but the green shoots of grain more than either. A friend or a companion is always welcome, but a sensible wife is better than either. And remember, we're the bride, man, so we have to be found spotless. Jasharala. Kindred and helpers are for a time of trouble, but almsgiving rescues better than others. Gold and silver make one stand firm, but good counsel is esteemed more than either. Riches and strength build up confidence, but the fear of Yahweh Elohim is better than either. Amen. That's the beginning of wisdom, the fear of the Most High. There is no want in the fear of the Most High, and with it there is no need to seek for help. The fear of Yahweh Elohim is like a garden of blessings and covers a person better than any glory. See, there you go, man. Fear the Lord. It says the disgrace of begging. My child, do not lead the life of a beggar. It is better to die than to beg. When one looks to the table of another, one's way of life cannot be considered a life. One loses self-respect with another person's food, but one who is intelligent and well-instructed guards against that. In the mouth of the shameless, begging is sweet, but it kindles a fire inside. Yeah, man, have some dignity, man. I hope this was edifying, man. Most High be providing. We'll do another one. And on that note, shalom, fam.